get started, I guess. Um, so yeah, I'm Unique, one of the team members at Nibiru, and today will just be kind of like an interview, somewhat on Leapwalla. So I guess for whoever would like to get started, um, first introduce yourself, please, and then um, can you tell us about, a short intro to Leap?
Yeah, I could go first. This is Sanjeev here, founder and CEO of Leap, joining in from the Leap Cosmos account. Firstly, I just want to say a big thank you to the Nibiru team for organizing this. Great to be here and chat more about our partnership. And also, guys, it's been fantastic working together. It's just been I think, couple of months since we started working together, but feels much longer. I think we've already worked very closely with you folks and excited for like everything coming up ahead. But yeah, in terms of a quick background to Leap itself, for those hearing about us for the first time, Leap is a non-custodial crypto wallet for Cosmos. As it stands today, we currently support Nibiru and 55 other Cosmos chains natively across like four different wallet products, which include the browser extension, also like native iOS and Android applications, and also like a web dashboard. So we have four like wallet products in all. Our aim with all these products is to become like super wallets for Cosmos, essentially becoming like one-stop gateways for all on-chain transactions and activities, which means that as a user of Leap, we want to make it possible for users to, from a single wallet interface, be able to do things like managing your portfolio, sending tokens, stake, accessing NFTs, accessing DeFi opportunities, voting on governance proposals, and anything else that you want to do on chain should be easily possible from Leap. That's kind of like our goal with it. And the way we make this possible is that there's a base layer of experiences that we build, and also dApps whose experiences and workflows we natively integrate into the wallet. So yeah, that's a little bit about Leap.
Got it. And so, um, curious, how do you guys leverage IBC, or what features from IBC are you able to utilize through the Leap wallet?
Yep, I'll take that. Before that, just to introduce myself, I'm Kaushik. I lead growth at Leap. Uh, been working with Leap for last 1.5 years, and it's my first Web3 experience. But since moving to Cosmos, it's been the most amazing journey. And definitely one of the key things about Cosmos is the whole IBC ecosystem that's there. And what we allow users to do is probably we have the simplest IBC experience in wallet currently, right? Especially for a new user to the ecosystem, transferring tokens through IBC might seem a bit daunting. Figuring out the right channel IDs, figuring out the right wallet address, they might be making mistakes at multiple step points. So what we have done in our wallet is abstracted out all of these concepts. All a user will need to do is select the from wallet address, which is also mapped to the from chain, and the to wallet address, the receiver's wallet address, which is mapped to the receiver's chain, and they can just go ahead and enter the tokens that they want to send and click on send. Right. So we simplified it to quite a lot of quite made it very simple, and this is the experience you will find across our wallet products like extension, mobile apps, and dashboard. So, yeah, I mean, definitely, I think this is one of our most loved features. Since the beginning, we had this feature since we launched on Cosmos, which is probably 1 year ago, and since then we got a lot of good feedback from users who have experienced this, especially in mobile side.
Got it.
And maybe if I can just build on top of that, right? Like, so what Kaushik is referring to is the IBC transfers and simplifying IBC UX, which is something that's been a focus for us for a long time. But as some of you might know, that IBC is not just used for token transfers; it's a general message passing protocol. And so, what's happening right now is with like as more and more chains adopt PFM, which is packet forwarding middleware, and IBC hooks, there's like many interesting applications that are starting to emerge. I think the most important of them, which is currently also getting a lot of attention, is the idea of being able to do like one click swaps across different Cosmos chains. So currently, if let's say somebody had to like, so currently, let's say if somebody had to transfer, has had to swap assets, the usual flow is that you have to IBC transfer your assets over to let's say a chain like Osmosis, and then you swap on the Osmosis DEX and then like bring it back or take it to the destination chain that you want to. Typically something that involves at least three transactions, and like, it's a lot of friction from the user standpoint. But what we're doing right now is that we're partnering with folks like Skip. So Skip Protocol has built out an API that makes swaps really seamless and sort of interfaces or utilizes the packet forwarding middleware that I was referring to. And then we are building out UX on top of it. So very soon it'll be possible to do like one-click swaps from any chain to any chain from the Leap front end. Alongside that, what we've also done right now is that we're building out a new, almost like a dev tool called Elements, which is like a front-end SDK that makes it really easy for dApps to integrate a range of onboarding solutions on their front end. And part of this is also including like, IBC transfers and IBC swaps. Right? And so very soon, not only will you be able to get these features within Leap Wallet, but let's say for any of our partner dApps that integrate this, our front end will now effectively, it'll be possible to load this front end anywhere within the dApp workflow. Again, making it really easy for you to get the required liquidity needed to use that particular DeFi protocol in the form of either IBC transfers or IBC swaps.
Got it. And when should chains have packet forward middleware for the wallet UX? Or I guess how does that benefit the end user?
So right now, as it stands, there has actually been a lot of adoption for packet forwarding middleware and IBC hooks across the ecosystem. Right now, if you look at we should have a demo also soon that we're able to push out. You'll see that a majority of chains have actually started like implementing this. When I think the simplest answer would be like as soon as possible, because the moment you have that, then it unlocks interoperability with like other chains in it unlocks a new dimension there. So the right answer for that is like as soon as possible. Are there technical constraints to be able to do that? I am not 100% sure on that, so I'm not sure if I have the right answer for that. But in general, Skip also and we know that other folks in the ecosystem have generally been pushing chains to adopt it as soon as possible.
Got it. Understood. So how do you guys gather user feedback and like use it to decide on, product changes or the future roadmap?
Right, I'll take that. I mean, since we entered Cosmos, we've always been, community first and, building community sort of team, right? So user feedback has been very crucial for us since we started building on Cosmos, and that has been actually, if you take few of our most loud features, for example, the IBC example that I gave, very simplified IBC flows, adding governance proposal, ability to vote on governance proposals right inside our wallet, chat GPT summaries for governance proposals, for example, or even on the mobile side, dApp browser. All of these features are actually initiated in some way or other through the users, right? Whenever we post on Twitter, or we have this canny link that we keep sharing every week to gather feature requests and feedback from our users. So we keep very close eye on all of these channels and collect feedback as possible, and if required, get into discussions with the users as well. So and the all of these consolidated inputs goes into our product roadmap, and that's how we kind of prioritize, right? So it's almost like part of our building process that we collect feedback and thoughts from our users before we start building any feature. And by now we have good enough process and team in place to look at this feedback and work on them. So I think definitely encourage the Nibiru community here as well to share if there is any wallet feature that you have in mind which will make for the best wallet experience on Nibiru. Please do share with us, and we'll more than happy to build them for you.
Got it. So how does the Leap Wallet handle or simplify NFT management, especially with like multiple chains involved?
I think the timing for this question is spot on here, Unique, because yesterday is when we just launched our what we call as NFT 2.0. For example, Leap always had a NFT gallery feature wherein this is restricted to Stargaze chain though. But yeah, if you all the Stargaze NFTs that you own as a user, you could go to our NFT gallery and check them out. You can look at read the metadata, how they look, etc. But bunch of feedback that we got from still the NFT community within Cosmos moved us in the direction to make more of a abstract out the chain level and show all the NFTs across all the Cosmos chains in one place. So that's number one. NFT Gallery 2.0 that we released yesterday has this feature where across any chain you might own an NFT and you'll be able to see them in one place. And you will also now be able to set profile picture for your wallet inside Leap. You can set an NFT as profile picture inside our wallet itself, right? So the second thing that we have launched yesterday, and the third thing is direct link into the marketplace. So you can check out your NFT, and if you want to go and see what is the current price for the marketplace, with one click you can move to a marketplace and see what's the current floor price going on, or the any other bits that you got for the particular NFT. So this is just one starting point for us towards making NFTs way more accessible to user, and all of that happening right within the wallet. We definitely got lovely feedback from the users, and now we are focusing on how do we take it to the next level. How do we add more notifications related to NFTs? How do you make it easy to share and list NFTs in the marketplaces? All that stuff. So yeah, we probably are currently the wallet with most NFT features at this point in time.
And touching on that last point there on notifications, what sort of notifications can you get? And I saw like on your site there are customized notifications. What are some examples of like things people can do?
Right. So, like the Sanjay was mentioning, Leap currently supports 50 Nibiru and 55 other Cosmos chains, right? And what this means is out of the box, this also includes the notification support, which is whenever you do any on-chain transaction. For example, you transferred your tokens, or you staked your tokens, or you voted on a governance proposal, or other way around, right? For example, if there is a new governance proposal that went live on Osmosis, and we kind of track all of this on-chain information and trigger notifications to user real time. So all of these notifications, we built this entire notification infra from scratch ourselves, and now we are at a stage where most of these notifications are triggered real time, and most of the on-chain transactions that require a notifications are covered at this point in time. Now we want to go to a little bit next level. For example, in Nibiru's case or any other protocol, you placed an order and order got closed. We want to send a notification for that as well. Or you own an NFT and someone placed a bid order for you. You want to send notification for that as well. So these are next level, little bit more complicated than just tracking on-chain information, and that's the kind of customized notifications we want to get into. And you should soon hear an update from us in for these use cases as well.
Yeah, I think maybe another way to think about that is anything to do largely with like standard Cosmos SDK module type transactions, which is bank module transactions, governance transactions, staking, things that is usually applicable across chains. So all of these are kind of covered within the notification suite. So anytime these transactions are confirmed on chain, you instantly get a push notification confirming that the transaction went through. And now we're kind of starting to work on custom notifications which are specific to different smart contracts, right? So we've done that for Osmosis. We've started working with some of the other DeFi protocols, and the goal is to build like a general framework which makes it possible for any DeFi protocols to also plug into our notification system. And then the idea is that any on-chain, the end goal for us is any on-chain transaction that users are doing, whether it's the Cosmos SDK module type transactions or general smart contracts, we are able to sort of pipe that into our notification system.
Got it. Thank you. And so, what DeFi protocols? Yeah. So in terms of the app integration, you mentioned that you can do like swaps. What are some of the other chains that have like special functionality through the Leap app?
Yeah, so from a DeFi perspective, our goal again, as I mentioned earlier, is to allow as much native capability as possible within the app. So what we started off with is we started off by allowing osmosis swaps to happen within the wallet. So even today, when you go to either on the mobile app or the extension, you go switch chains, go to osmosis, and then you're able to do like this, go through the swap experience natively. Now, what's coming up very soon is, as I just mentioned earlier, the one-click swaps happening across Cosmos chains. So now, essentially, on any Cosmos chain, you're going to have this swap functionality, which is going to do like the one-click IBC PFM enabled swap behind the scenes. So that's coming up really soon. Other than this, some of the other in-wallet integrations that we've done are like, things like, so the way we've thought about this from framework perspective is that some of these where the UX can get a little more challenging, we're going to have like plugs to these within the wallet, but the actual transaction might happen on our web dashboard, which is still a very seamless experience because you click on this particular CTA on the extension, it takes you to the dashboard where you're already sort of connected. So it still seems like a very seamless flow for you. So some of the stuff that that's currently in the works is, for example, we want to do liquid staking integration within the wallet experience in that sense. So when you go to stake, you already have the entire native staking suite that's enabled. But if you also want to, let's say, liquid stake, we support that already with Stride. We're going to add like other liquid staking providers as well. Similarly, what we've started to do on the other DeFi protocol side is that we've started aggregating yields and showing people, like we built out like an earn section on the extension where users can go and they can look at like different DeFi protocols across chains, sort them by TVL, sort them by APR. And so now this becomes like a discovery mechanism across DeFi chains. And the next step for this is that today you look at individual protocols. And today, like, if you want to like actually invest in one of them and you click on that, then it takes you to that particular dApps page. And then you can sort of invest there. Eventually, we want to sort of work with them and integrate some of these flows. So things like being able to invest in a particular LP pool, being able to invest in wallets will also kind of happen natively within the wallet experience itself. So that's kind of the general goal there. Maybe the one other specific thing that I want to highlight, particularly when it comes to the mobile side, is that on Leap's mobile app, we built in like a native browser, so like an in-app browser experience, and that also actually makes a lot of DeFi transactions like much more seamless because this now makes it possible to permissionlessly access any Cosmos app on your phone, right? Which was actually not possible for the longest time because other Cosmos wallets used to whitelist particular dApps on their phone apps, and only those could be accessed. And of course, you can still do things through the native browser of your phone, but that's a really janky experience because you kind of have to jump between that app and your wallets app, and it usually it doesn't end up working very well because of issues with Wallet Connect. But with Leap, it's a much more seamless experience. And so the idea is, let's say you get a push notification about, let's say, a DeFi protocol has some yield. You can click on it. It directly now will open up the dApp on your Leap app within our browser, and then you're sort of connected there already, and then it's easy for you to make transactions within the browser. So that's the other way we've thought about making DeFi transactions more seamless within the mobile experience.
Got it. And are those so liquid staking and other DeFi integrations on the mobile app, are those the main things on your future roadmap? Or do you want to maybe walk through some of the things you have coming up, like for 2024?
Do you mean from a DeFi integration perspective or like a more in a more general sense?
In general, yeah, your general future roadmap.
Yeah, for sure. So in terms of the roadmap for us right now, 2024, I think is like some time away. We're still sort of very focused on doing a bunch of things just in the next like 6 months. So for us, at this point in time in like Q3, some of the stuff we are really excited about is that we're going to be launching the NFT suite on mobile as well. So a lot of the stuff that Kaushik mentioned around NFT V2 on extension now very soon that's going to come on mobile. We're going to launch Bluetooth ledger support on mobile. So one of the things in general we've noticed is that Cosmos mobile experiences have been lacking, and some of the stuff we've done around the in-app browser, the notifications, has given us the sort of conviction that people really care about having a best-in-class Cosmos mobile wallet. So definitely going to continue focusing on a bunch of things to enhance the mobile side. That's where the NFTs, the Bluetooth ledger, etc. comes there. We're also really focused on launching social logins. So we've actually been working with like multiple providers who can offer true MPC style social login experience. And so we're, as we speak, in the process of doing proof of concepts with some of these. But the whole goal for us here is to try and reduce the onboarding friction that people have. And one of the biggest pain points there is this sort of single point of failure thing that happens with like your seed phrase. So we're trying to do different things to like potentially offer other solutions there. One of which is going to be social login based self-custodial wallets. The other area that we've started looking into very closely is the idea of account abstraction. And our hope is that, like, by the end of this quarter, we want to try and push out like some proof of concept here. Again, lots of very interesting work being done by different teams within Cosmos, and we are sort of trying to partner with them and see what's like, the best approach forward. And then beyond this, lots of other stuff that, like, in a slightly longer time horizon, lots of stuff that we want to do is potentially do things like, integration of on ramps and off ramps. Like today, we kind of might offer like links to some of these products, but be able to like integrate these natively within wallet experiences, be able to do things like, adding a messaging layer or a social layer within wallets. It's also something that we've started paying some attention to. But Coinbase, for example, launched Coinbase wallet-to-wallet messaging. So I think there's a lot of interesting stuff happening there. Another theme in general that we are excited about is the idea of like the wallet serving as like a discovery or exploration layer for users. Like if you look at like the wallet landscape today, most wallets do like a good job when it comes to being a transaction layer, right? So you know that there's a certain transaction that you want to make, and then you can go to the wallet and do it effectively. But wallets today don't serve as discovery hubs. It's not very easy to like, discover like good yields, discover interesting NFT collections, find good like creators in the space using wallets. And that's where people end up relying on Discords, Telegrams, Twitter. But that's where we think that's going to be, there's a huge opportunity for the wallet to serve as that discovery layer. And yeah, that's also something we want to start focusing on from within this quarter itself.
Got it. And how are you guys approaching, for example, the account abstraction one? And do you think you'll have to use ICA or interchain accounts in that flow?
Not sure if we'll end up having to use ICA. Currently, there's like different proposals. So the binary builders team, which sort of like works and maintains on the Cosmos SDK, they have a proposal which is essentially going to introduce like a new accounts module within the SDK. That is potentially like a starting point to build in some sort of like auth capabilities. But the core idea is like this, right? That with the account abstraction, the core idea is the today, the entity that signs the transaction and the entity that sort of holds your tokens or funds are one and the same. And the idea is to like try and split those out. And which means that when a particular signature is received by the user and you do a bunch of checks before actually committing the transaction to the mempool, one of the things that you want to now be able to add is some sort of a arbitrary logic around a condition defined for that particular account, right? This could be a condition in terms of a daily spend limit. It could be a per transaction limit. It could be the fact that transactions beyond a certain amount require, let's say, approval from somebody else, right? They kind of become like a multi-sig transaction in these cases. So that's kind of how the idea is being sort of evolving, that like, the idea or the capability to add like this additional check that you're able to codify at an account level. So that's the approach that the Cosmos SDK team is taking. Osmosis is sort of also like working on a slightly different variation of this, which doesn't require a new module, but sort of works with the current auth module. But yeah, it's more to do with like the auth modules and changes around that, and not so much around ICA.
Okay. And so, yeah, and so, okay, for a wallet application, security is also essential. What are some measures or protocols that the wallet implements to, protect users?
Yeah, I'll take that and 100% agree with you there, Unique. As you know, wallet builder security is actually one of the most important considerations for us at Leap. Basically, any new change that touches key management, level code that we have goes through a rigorous review process before it's deployed, right? And this part of our again day-to-day release process that we do at Leap. And so that a more high level, two would like to highlight two things. One, we are open sourcing. We are working, towards the goal of being fully open sourced. so that anyone in the community, all of our community members, developers can provide a second set of eyes on our code base. In fact, few months back, we open sourced the Leap keychain library, which is essentially the code that has all the key management logic, right? And we did it first because that's the most critical and high risk components of a wallet usage. We did for extension, and then more recently we shipped it for mobile apps as well. And now our plan is to more gradually and progressively open source our entire code base, right? So it's first thing that number one thing that we've been working towards to make sure Leap Wallet is the safest wallet out there. And also, secondly, we completed our security audit by Halban. Halban is one of the best security firms out there, and we published the Republic report on our website on extension, and very soon we'll be publishing for our mobile app as well. And through this process, we kind of learn the best practices from their team and adopted all of those into the products. And this is how we kind of be always on track on what's the best practices in terms of security and try to implement them immediately on our side. So yeah, this security is always going to be top focus for us, and it will continue to be for sure.
Awesome. So I guess since we have, as we're getting close to the community portion of it for other questions, um, let's talk about, what features Leap supports for Nibiru, either now and then also maybe in the future, and then also like how the communities can get involved.
Right. So for Nibiru, like Sanju mentioned, we started working with the team, I think 2.5 months ago. And, we quickly got to understand the testnet plan that, you have. So in the last 2 months, what we were able to release was we have native support to Nibiru on our extension as well as mobile apps. And by native support, I mean this is for testnet, and we also have the faucet integrated so that the testnet missions can be done easily. So which included staking Nibiru on testnet easily right through Leap Wallet. And now what these are the basic features that we provide for when we say we natively support any new chain on testnet. But now the plan is to take it to next level, and as we get prepared for mainnet launch, provide the same level of experience that we are providing for all other native chains through Nibiru as well, right? So that's number one, which is Nibiru token support, Nibiru IBC transfers, governance proposal voting, and staking. And over time, of course, we'll also provide with from a mobile standpoint. We'll also all the Nibiru. We'll try to support all the Nibiru apps and make them accessible on mobile through our mobile apps. So that's the base level of feature set that we'll be providing for Nibiru. And beyond that, again, we would love to work closely with the Nibiru team and integrate a few of the Nibiru apps in our end section, which Sanju was referring to, as well as a few more on natively as well. So we have a lot of plans. Definitely would love to work closely with the team and provide the best wallet experience for Nibiru users.
Yeah, and
Thank
maybe
you.
jumping quickly on what you were asking about the community side, right? I think Kaushik touched upon this a little bit earlier as well. We've always had like a very much of a build in public approach with the wallet. Like it's a big part of our roadmap, a big part of like the ideas that we end up prioritizing are things that come through the public canny roadmap that we keep sharing every now and then on Twitter. We always have like a very vibrant Telegram set. So we have a Discord community. We used to have a Telegram community as well, but we kind of had to shut that down because of a lot of phishing and scamming that was happening on there. So now we made it an announcement only channel. But we also have like a group of like our most sort of like an alpha users, people who sort of spend a lot of time like using Leap, giving us lots of great feedback. But in general, like community is a huge source of like inspiration and ideas for us. So if anybody listening in has any ideas on how we could improve the Nibiru experience, specific things that you wanted in your Cosmos wallet experience that are missing, please reach out to us. Twitter, Telegram, Discord, absolutely anywhere is fine. We're always listening, always excited to hear from our users and see how we can improve your experience.
Yeah, thank you guys. I mean, so there's a lot of exciting stuff in the roadmap. Um, I invite those listening and who listen to the recording, follow Leap, you know, get involved. So where would you have people, I guess, how can people get involved? So they should join Discord, I would imagine, and then follow on Twitter. So should we plug anything else for Leap that you want people to try out?
Yeah, I mean, definitely install our extension, mobile apps, and try them out for sure, and share your feedback. And like you mentioned, I think Twitter, we are always reachable on Twitter. Our DMs are open. You can share your feedback right there, or if Discord is your preferred channel, we have Discord, Leap Wallet Discord. You can join there and share your feedback there as well. Yeah.
And then we should probably open it up to if anyone wants to ask questions live or put them in the chat. We can go through it. Oh, so I see one at us actually about the testnet. So yeah, the testnet tasks are still open. We can put the link below the AMA after, but probably wait like 30 seconds or so. If no one else has a question, then we'll probably end it here. All right. I think we're good to go. So thank you guys for joining, and then yeah, and also thanks for listening.
Thanks so much, Nibiru team, for organizing this. This was really fun. And yeah, looking forward to doing a lot more of these as we continue sort of solidifying our partnership.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, 100% thoughts. Had fun. Thanks for having me. Bye.
All right. Take care, everyone.